Okay, so I'm clicking on Sunday under the playlist. I'm going to import a service. To do that, I go down to the bottom left, click plus, then new PCO playlist. PCO playlist, then I click on this little arrow for the service that I want, and then you will have services to choose to import August 30th, and then we push the add button, and that imports it from Planning Center. This is what it looks like when it's imported. Now we won't get into songs that are new and have never put in there. We're going to link the slide loop, and then over in our library on the far left, the library holds any of the songs that we have arranged. Arrangement is an important word that we'll learn more about. And then you click on it and you slowly drag it into that box. And then those are the slides that we have as our slide group at the loop is the moment. They change off and on. We will get our countdown video, go up to video image at the top. Countdowns will be over here. You can see the mouse circling it. You click on countdowns. That's pulling from a folder that is on the computer, and we click, drag and drop into that box. Here we can change the background if we want to. So you would right click on the slide. Okay, well we can, all the backgrounds are over there. So right click on the slide, remove cue from the previous background that's on there, if there is one. And you scroll through the background options and click one, hold that down and drag it to that spot and release, and it's there. And you can look through the song to make sure it's in order. I have the welcome slides in with the countdown slides, so you should have a matching welcome slide coordinating in some way. So you click on it, you drag it to that box, and it should sit right in there. Now Bobby doesn't have all the songs in right now. Typically they will all just import over unless he doesn't have them in. So with the greeting, we usually just stick another welcome slide in there, or but usually it just says welcome, or the Calvary Chapel logo. We'll stick that slide in, and those logos are often in the completed slide file. Announcements is different than the loop that rotates around. These are just the slides that are static, they don't move, and you'll click on them as the pastor announces them. You can zoom in or zoom out on your slides. It's whatever you prefer. On that far right, I just pulled it to the right or the left. And you can add slides from the completed slide folder that is generated from a Dropbox folder. We make the slides and then we put them in Dropbox, and this pulls them up, and you just drag and drop and then drag them around and into whatever order the pastor wants to announce them. So yeah, again, if we're doing a brand new song that's never been done before, that's kind of a whole nother, we have to create the song and its arrangements and have it in our library. That library is on the far left of your screen underneath the preview screen, and it says library. If you want to edit a song, you click on edit instead of the quick edit, which is just what I've shown many of you, where you just backspace. So you edit the song whenever you are clicking on like I clicked on verse 1, so when I click duplicate, it's going to duplicate that same exact slide, and it's also going to be categorized in that same group, which is verse 1. It will be repeated in all verse 1s throughout the song. So if it ever goes back to verse 1, that same slide will be used, because each group is added in there as its own solid group. So if I edit this, it's going to be that way in every verse 2 in the sequence. There's those little boxes at the top of the screen, the sequence. It will always, in verse 1 will always have that slide with the word test on it, in all following verse 1s. I can relabel it, and it won't change anything. I have to change the group. And if I change the group label to one that is already being used, it's going to change all of those. And that is where we get into a mess. And we click undo under edit at the very top left of the screen. We don't want that to happen. So what has to happen is we have to add a whole new group. And that's going to happen by using something that's not being used at all. But here again, you see, because it's stuck in the middle of all of the slides, the program is not recognizing that it needs to be considered its own group. So we're going to take it away from all the group. We're going to isolate it towards the bottom of the whole group, and then we can relabel it, and the program will recognize it as its own group. And when this happens, though, it's going to disappear, and I'll show you why. We're taking it away from all the other groups. So we make it we'll just call it an ending, because there is no ending in this song, or verse 4b, that's right. So I called it verse 4b, and it totally disappeared. Why did it totally disappear? Because that group, verse 4b, is not in the sequence anywhere. What is the sequence? The sequence is when we go to the top of the song and we click the top right, you'll see the little box with 3 boxes beneath it. We have to pull it from the top in the gray and add it to the actual sequence of the song, and then that slide will appear. And that is the only place that is, because I haven't added it to the sequence anywhere else in the song. And of course, it's not a real part of the song, so I'm going to delete it out of the sequence so it's not causing us trouble during rehearsal. But you can see how linked everything is, and that verse 4b is going to be there permanently until I go into the program and it's a little more, it's deep in there to get rid of it. It's just fine. But the quick edit is definitely what you want to use if you just have to put a space in, or capitalize a word, or get rid of some O's, or what have you. If you need to add an extra slide, if something's actually missing, we have to go into that editing mode. And the safest thing to do is often to just duplicate a slide, drag it away from its group, isolate it, and then regroup it as whatever group it needs to be. And that's what I have for now. I hope that helps somehow. All right, thanks.